Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I sat down and filmed a video. For this week's video, I think it's going to be a really useful one because I am filming a uni Q&A. It is September, everyone is either going back to university or some of you are starting university for the first time. Now, that can be a really daunting time, and I hope that through my videos it can just ease the stress of that a little bit. So for this week's video, I asked my friends to ask me questions that either they have always wanted to know the answer to or they would have really benefited from knowing before they went to university. So without further ado, let's just get on to it because I have a lot of questions to answer. Okay, question 1. What if I don't drink? Will I still enjoy going out? Yes, you will. I personally am not really involved in the drinking culture, but in second year I did still try to go out. The short answer is yes. I've had really good nights not drinking. I've been out plenty of times with friends drinking and still had a great time, so don't worry. I have never played sports and want to try something new. Can I go as a beginner? Of course you can. Don't worry, uni is the time to try out new sports. However, having said that, some unis are definitely more serious with sports than others, and some sports teams are harder to maybe get into than others. I was also in a similar boat of wanting to try a sport at uni, and I asked to join like the basketball team. I was like, let me just give something new a go, and they said, have you played before? And I said no, and they said sorry. That was my experience with that, but there are lots of sports teams that will just take you on. Also, uni is the place to do a sport that you probably never got offered in high school. I know in Scotland we have a skiing society, skydiving sports team. If I live at home, will I be able to make friends and go out? Yes, of course you will, but what I would say is you might have to put more of an effort in. You'll naturally be in less social situations with other uni students. For example, the social life is a lot in first year, like in your halls, and just like last minute plans. You probably have to plan more and like put yourself out there more. But there are definitely social areas on campus where you can meet people between classes. There are like lounges, sofas around where you can just chat to people and make friends there. I wouldn't worry so much about it, but you probably have to be a bit more active in it, is what I would say. If I'm falling behind with work, is there support for me? How to manage workload? Yes, there is support for you. I would go to the Students' Union, Students' Association, and just express your concerns, and they'll probably put you in touch with the right team. Assess the issue, whether you just need help with planning your day or whether it's more of a mental issue. They'll push you in the right direction. Another option is you probably are going to have a personal tutor. You can definitely email your personal tutor because that's kind of your first point of call with regards to academics. With uni, what I've noticed is just expressing your concerns to one person will get you really far, because the chances are that they'll know who to pass you on to, and that's kind of how I would describe uni with asking for help. Someone will know someone. Also, there is no harm in going to the course advisor and messaging them. That is also something I've done in the past. If I'm confused about an essay question, why not go to the person that set the question? What is a good / realistic amount of societies to join? This is a hard one. I would say to join and be actively a part of 1 to 3. Different societies require different amounts of commitment, but what you can also do is just sign up to the mailing list of all the ones you're interested in. I would recommend doing that in freshers and then attend a few and then narrow it down. How many nights a week should I go out without it getting unhealthy? That is something for you to decide, I would suggest. I can't tell you what you can cope with. Some people can go out every night, I don't know how, but still get their readings done and, you know, come out with a first. Like, there are students like that, but you know what you can handle. What I'd say is learn from experience. So if you find that going out 3 times a week is meaning that you're not attending your 9 a.m.s, you're missing 50% plus of your classes, then you're going out too much. But realistically, how the uni going out week works is you'll probably have a social on a Wednesday. That's usually when sports and societies do their social life stuff, and then everyone likes to go out on a Friday and or a Saturday. How much should I expect to spend on Freshers Week? Now, for those of you who don't know, Freshers Week is the first week of university where your classes haven't started usually, and the older students are putting on loads and loads of events for the newbies just to settle you in and make you feel loved. Most Freshers events are free. If you have to pay, they make them cheap. So it'll be like £2, £3, like they're not supposed to be expensive. And this year especially, I reckon most will be free because they're going to be online. Only if you're going out and partying, I just budget whatever you will spend on drinks. How do I meet people in a COVID freshers? So as I just said, COVID probably means that most freshers events will be online, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I want to stress that don't think that you have to meet your people in freshers. You'll meet your people throughout the year. What freshers probably will be is you'll meet a whole load of people. What is uni online like? So I can't really comment so much on this. I did a couple weeks of online uni before summer started, so this will be new for me, but lectures, as far as I'm aware, are pre-recorded and they'll just get uploaded at the time of the class, and then we're gonna have discussion groups online, some of them live, some of them not live. But I think it's something that is constantly being worked on and we just have to go with the flow. What laptop is good for uni? Lightweight, portable, fast, and able to run videos and like big programs, and good battery life. Does not need to be a MacBook. How to organise notes, stay productive during classes and lectures. Everyone has a different idea of how many notes is a good amount of notes to take, but what I would suggest is per module, have a Word document. If you're taking notes on your laptop, have a Word document on your laptop that is titled that module, and then every lecture just extend that Word document. So just keep it all in one document and just put new titles for each lecture. It just means you're organized and you're not opening a new Word document every time you're doing revision thinking which lecture was that, was it 1, was it 5? It's all just in one place. Staying productive during lectures and classes, get involved is the best thing I can suggest. Don't sit there and just wait for other people to do the talking, because then there will be awkward silences. I think if you encourage an environment that is talkative, is interactive, everyone's gonna benefit from it, and then others won't feel afraid to talk as well. Don't take yourself and others too seriously either. If I haven't done the reading for a class, is it better to miss it or to go anyway? This is a really good question. It was something I struggled with throughout first year. I would say there are going to be times where you haven't managed to do the reading, just because uni life can be busy, and that's okay as long as it's not every week. If there's, you know, a one-off reading that you haven't done, then go to the class. It doesn't matter, but maybe just on your way to the class, like, you know, have a quick Google of what's coming up and have maybe a point in your head that you want to say in the class. And a tip is to just put your hand up first, so no one else says your point, and then no one's gonna pick on you because you've already spoken. If you're making it a regular occurrence of not doing readings, there's a bigger issue going on with you. How to reference at uni. I'd look up referencing guides. One thing to be aware of is that different departments will have different preferences. I have to submit stuff for history, for politics, and then I also had to for German. I had to reference differently for all three of them. Look at referencing guides, they're online. Also, your course advisor will probably send out how they want you to reference, so follow that. I wouldn't stress it if you have to use different ones for different subjects, because most teachers say if you reference correctly and consistently, they don't care which one you use. Should I get an overdraft? How to choose a bank account for students? I'd say yes, you should get an overdraft when you're at uni, not to use it for, oh, now I have plus £1,500 in my bank. You don't. But at uni, the issue is with your rent. it might not come out at the same time as your student finance goes in. So over the summer, for example, when you're putting a deposit down for your second year house, you might need an extra £1,000, and that's when your overdraft will come in handy. So I would not spend your overdraft like it's money you have. There could be a time where you might need it. And choosing a bank account, there are loads of comparison sites for choosing a student bank account. I can link them below. I will look at the overdraft amount and the perks that come with it. So for example, I chose Santander because I get a rail card. I knew that studying in Edinburgh would mean that I would be traveling probably by train, and a third of my train ticket would be great. So I've used that a lot. I know some give you Prime membership, a coach card. Have a look at what ones are going to be of most use to you, basically. How did you choose which course to do? Just Googled things, courses to do with subjects I was interested in. Politics I'd never taken for A-level, but my brother studied it, so I asked him about it. Also, you can go to lectures whilst you're in sixth form or college. There's loads online. For example, like watching YouTubers is such a helpful way these days. Just visiting it as well. Open days are helpful too. I'm struggling with my mental health at uni. Is there any help for me? Of course there's help for you. At Edinburgh University we have a night line where you can call them up expressing any concerns you have. You're speaking to someone who's anonymous. Also just go to your students association and someone will put you in touch with the mental support team, so don't worry. What are tutorials, lectures and seminars? A lecture is the things you've seen in the movies where you're in a massive auditorium of maybe 50 to 400 people. That's where you have one professor talking at you. They might have a slideshow in the background, and your job there is to just type or write and absorb the information. Now the tutorials and seminars, I believe that these words are used interchangeably between universities. That's where you basically are wrestling with the material that was covered in the lecture. You're discussing it, you have a tutorial leader, it's their job to encourage debates and just deepening your understanding as well. Your tutorial tutor will be the one marking your essays, for example, and the one you'll go to for help with that. It's more personalized. What opportunities are there to broaden your understanding of your subject? There are many opportunities at university, from evening lectures, invited alumni or guests from other universities. We always have guest speakers coming in. You can always go to those. If you're enjoying a module, ask your tutor for any opportunities to learn more or do further reading. And then, as I mentioned before, it's kind of like you just need to tell one person something and then you'll be connected. Just say it and it will manifest. Trust me, put it out there. Are there any jobs on campus for students? How many hours per week should I work? Yes, there are loads of campus jobs for students. My older brother, he works for like the Students Association. You can work for the uni shop. There are also jobs off campus as well, but hours you should dedicate to a job, I wouldn't do more than 15, because you could work a Saturday and a Sunday. How much money will I need to survive? Can you break down the costs? Okay, so there's a table I'm going to insert here, and I'm just going to go through the table and compare whether I can relate to that or whether I spend more or less. I also did a what I spend in a week video, so I'll link that below. So rent, for me, my rent was way higher. I know friends who have had it way lower. Mine was around 600 to 700. If you're in London, 800 is normal. Yeah, rent can be a bit different. Groceries, that's insane, to be honest. Like, I budget 50 a week for groceries. Sometimes I spend 35 a week, but that's still about 140. Going out, see, I don't really do the whole going out thing, so that would be pretty much zero for me. Transport, depends where you are. I cycled everywhere. Course materials, yeah. I never buy the books for the course. I always just ask friends to send them to me, send me pictures or take pictures from them in the library, just because a module lasts a semester. Why do I need a textbook that's going to last me a lifetime? I think this isn't the best spreadsheet, but with cost, it honestly depends on you. Are scholarships worth it? Are they difficult to pursue? Scholarships are definitely worth it. I'm part of a scholars program and it has helped me a lot financially and also with opportunities. As soon as you know your university that you're applying to, I'd search up scholarships so you can put yourself in the best position. Has uni changed me? Yes, it has. I feel like I'm much more independent than I was before I came. I now know what I want to do with my life, which I never did before. You have a lot of time at uni, basically, and it really made me think about those things. Okay, guys, that is it. That was a lot of questions. I really hope that I cleared a few things up for you, that if you are starting university or if you are at university right now, these answers helped you, got you thinking about some things, and I wish you all the best with this year. It's going to be a very interesting one, but hopefully you can take on some of my advice and just, you know, make it as good as it can be. Let me know in the comments what other university videos you would like to see, and if you have any further questions for maybe a part 2. Bye guys!